Hey guys, so here's your stuff for Monday, the 15th. We're going to do some weightlifting today and a tough hero WOD called Ship that we've done before, probably once or twice in the gym over the years. Heavy day as far as the WOD, so the pace is a little bit slower depending on your equipment. So just starting out, you're going to do just one time through the warm-up, 20 of each. So jumping back squats, or put a PVC, or just do a PVC, you don't have to do any weight. So, right, I'm just trying to warm up pretty quickly, get the heart rate up, keep the squats looking good. The bar just kind of forces you to keep the chest up, right? If you're doing a jumping air squat, usually those kind of turn into like kind of sloppy looking squats. So back squat with the bar in your back. Then you're going to do, so 20 of those. Then you're going to do a seated shoulder press. So that's this one that we've done a few times here. So we're going to go head through the shoulders. I always find these ones a big stretch, trying to get to here and not just push it out there. So this is not what we're after. Head through, head through. Okay, and then I'm just going to do 20 quick ones. Should kind of warm up the back and the shoulders very fast. And then you're going to do 20 practicing the footwork push jerks. So you're going to have the feet on your hips. You're going to have the hands just outside the shoulders. And you're going to do a reset. Okay, so that's the one where I jump, dip and drive the bar up and jump it up. Heads out of the way as I come through. And laying low and stand it up. Okay, so just practice it. We're going to do those in the strength. So you're going to just practice those a little bit just to try to just get that footwork down, especially so that we're kind of not thinking about the footwork so much later. For the strength, pretty straightforward, stuff you do a lot, and especially because since you guys have been home, we're trying to keep it simple, not kind of mess with the timing so much, just to kind of be able to keep you guys going. In the gym, sometimes we do a little more complicated combinations and timings and stuff, but yeah. So it's every minute on the minute for 10 minutes. You're going to do 3 touch and go, power clean and push jerk. So that's from the ground to the shoulder, and then shoulder to overhead. After overhead, touch and go means that you're going to bring the bar down to the floor, touch and come right back up. So you're not going to rest the bar on the ground. So I'm going to kind of either go back to the shoulder, and then back to the hip, and then down, touch, come back up to the shoulder, or I can kind of bypass the shoulder on the way down, get to right to the thigh, touch. Okay, so there's kind of a few different ways you can kind of do it. As you get a bit more experience with it, you'll be kind of able to cycle that rep a little quicker. But it's all about balance with the path of the bar. So if I'm kind of letting the bar get away from me on the way down, the next rep's going to kind of be forward and I'm going to be losing it. So just going over the clean quickly. So hands are about a thumb width outside the thigh, maybe a little bit more. We're going to be just jumping and shrugging from that power position, so a little bit of knee bend and jump and shrug. Okay, high pull after that. Right, working on keeping that bar close. So I've got that speed through the middle, and then I've got that fast high pull, keeping the bar close. And then I'm going to work on getting those elbows through. So extended shrug. Okay, there's my power clean. I'm going to be adding in from the ground now. So there's a lot to go over today, so I'm being a little quicker with it. But it's going to be from here. So butts below the shoulders, bars kind of over your laces. On the way up, you're trying to get sweep the knees back a little bit and get them out of the way. And I don't want to bring the chest up yet, right to the knee. Here's when I'm going to start bringing the chest up, keeping the bar close. Back to that power position, so I got a little bit of knee bend left. And then I'm going to land in that quarter squat. So in real time, it's slow and landing on the shoulder, right? So some of you guys are flexible enough to be able to catch it in power clean in that kind of grip. Some, maybe the pinkies come way off. You're gonna have to get the bar in your hands to be able to press it. So you're gonna have to give it a little bit of a regrip, elbows lower a bit. It's okay if you landed like this in a power clean, right? And then I'm gonna do what I did in the warm up, feet reset so if I landed a little bit wide, I'm gonna reset my feet, and then I'm gonna jump the bar up. Again, basically going down to that power position again, vertical chest, and I'm gonna jump the bar up. As it's on its way up, I'm going to lower myself down, so I'm pushing myself under the bar, right? And then kind of balancing it here. It should be in that straight line from ankle to bar, or ankle to hand, and then I stand it up. Okay, after that, like I was saying, the bar can go to the shoulder or it can go to the thigh, right? Either way, it's got to be balanced, right? So if my first movement is to do this, and I have the bar going away from me, everything's going to be pulling me forward, especially the heavier it gets, right? So my first movement is to kind of start it down the same path, right? And then I'm going to turn my hands over and catch it in the thigh, right? Once I feel that's if I'm bypassing the shoulder. Once I feel the thigh, I want my hips to go back, so that I don't want to go like this and then have this bar go out there. I'm trying to have the hips go back so that the bar can go down straight and touch. So if you watch the bar from the side view, it's pretty close to straight the whole way down, right? The other thing you can do is if you're a little less experienced with that, or it's getting a little heavy for you, it's okay. We can go back to the shoulder. So after I've gone up, I can get those elbows back in front, catch the bar on my shoulders, reset myself, keep it close to the thigh, and slow everything down a little bit more. Okay? Either way, the bar's got to be close. Same thing if you're using a dumbbell. So you're going to do 3 touch and go reps. Same thing if you're using a dumbbell. You might just have to add weight reps, but you're going to do the same. Ground to shoulder, shoulder overhead. On that one side, you're going to do 3 reps or more. Maybe 3 to 6, depending on how easy it is or how hard it is. But you got to be able to keep it up with the minute. Plus, you're going to do these jumps after I'm going to show you. But it's going to be from the ground, butt down to the shoulder, and then shoulder overhead, either as a push press or a push jerk. Like I said, on the way down, I can go back to the shoulder, and then down to the ground, or I can kind of bypass that shoulder and bring it right down, but I want to be close, right? What I don't want to do is get it up here and go, and then see it now, it kind of pull me down. I'm on my toes a little bit. The next rep's going to be all off, okay? So just, you're going to do ground to shoulder, shoulder overhead, 3 times on, I would maybe start with that, with the dumbbell. See if you can go 3 right, 3 left. And then you're going to do lateral bar jump. So if you have a barbell set up and you have sort of that that height set up, you can do, we're going to do 20 lateral bar jumps. This is a dumbbell obviously, so this is a lot lower. I don't have a bar set up here, but sometimes we use like a kettlebell or whatever, and we have that a few inches higher. So it's kind of, this high off the ground, so it's you can use a hurdle, you can use something to kind of jump over if you have a PVC that you can kind of put on boxes or something like that. You can use your dumbbell if you want, but the jump should be a little bit higher, unless that's hard for you. If you have a hard time jumping over something, that might be the right height for you. But the idea is I'm going to do the 3 touch and go power cleans and push jerks. That might take me 10, 15 seconds, especially if it's heavy. And then I'm going to do 20 jumps. That might take me 10, 15 seconds. It takes me about 30 seconds of work, maybe 30 to 40. probably hopefully no more than that, and then I'm ready to go with a little bit of recovery time for the next minute. So the idea is keep up with the clock, do some heavy lifting, but don't lose the clock. I don't want to start making it so heavy and so hard and struggling changing my plates that I fall behind the clock and I don't keep up with the minute. Okay, so the WOD ship is, I don't know the backstory on this workout. It's a good workout. So 9 rounds. I'll write a time cap in there soon, but there isn't a time cap on hero WODs usually. We just kind of set them by usually how much time we have in the class. So I'd probably say around 25 minutes, but I'll confirm that. So squat cleans, so basically the same clean that you just did, except you're going to be landing in the front squat. So instead of landing here, you're going to be landing here. So from the ground, and then there's no overhead, right? So from the ground is the same, this is the same, getting to here is the same, getting to here is the same, getting to here is the same, except I drop into that front squat, right? So it's from the ground, and I land in a full squat, right? So it's set at a pretty high weight. That's a weight that usually people have to do singles. So one drop, or put it down if you can't make some noise in the house. So not everyone's going to have that weight, but you just want to make it a little bit heavy that you could not, no way could you do 7 in a row. No way could you do 5 in a row, right? Maybe you could do a couple, but the idea is over 9 rounds, you're probably not going to want to be doing that, right? If you have a dumbbell only, you're going to do, I would do 7 on each side, maybe more, right? So if you have a really light dumbbell, or if you have a kind of a dumbbell that's kind of heavy for you, that's probably good for today, right? We want to be able to, we want it to be hard that you almost need to step away from it for a little bit, right? So it's going to be from the ground. Right, and I would do at least 7 on each side, right? So per round. And then if it's a little easy, I would challenge myself and maybe make it 10 on each side. Okay, tough to kind of standardize a benchmark workout, but the other thing about this WOD is really tough is the really high box jump. So it's a 36-inch jump, which is, you know, our highest height on those standard boxes that we have is 30 inches. So we usually have to put 3 plates on top of the box and jump to there. So it kind of makes things slow down a little bit. Got to be really explosive in that jump, but you can't kind of go as fast as you can because you need that energy in the legs. So it's going to be a burpee box jump, which is chest to the ground. And then it's a 2-foot jump. And then stand up. Extend all the way. Like I was saying, it's 36-inch for guys. It didn't say a girl's height, but I'm assuming it would be the 30-inch, so that's the highest height on the blocks if you have one of our standard boxes. Yeah, so it's obviously less. Not everyone's going to be able to do that. But if you want RX, you got to go with the full weight, and you got to do the full height. Yeah, so 9 rounds is a lot. It's more just kind of a sort of a steady pace kind of thing. Pick it up, drop it, pick it up, drop it, pick it up, drop it. Burpees, you kind of just lay down, get up, explosive jump, step down. Yeah, just watch the step down, especially if you're on a really high box. I always find on this one it's a long way down, so I don't want to jump from there often, and stepping down is such a long way down the step that's kind of a little awkward, so it takes me a few reps to get kind of comfortable with it. But yeah, so see what you got. If you have a bar, try to make it a little bit heavy. If you have a box, try to make it a little higher, and then be creative with how you do things, but should be good.